Hello there guys and welcome to episode number 1 of my Football Manager 2020 career mode with Benidorm. We're going to be calling this save the Party Boys because, well, Benidorm is known for having its pretty wild side, I think, and the nightlife. And yeah, this is going to be a bit of a party save because we're going to try and take Benidorm from, well, the existence. I've just made them. They're a club team. They weren't in the game before. They are now in the game, and I think they're in the league where they should be. And yeah, we're going to try and turn them into a Champions League team, and hopefully one day win the Champions League with them at least as well. Without further ado, though, let's get into it. We'll have a quick look through the club as it stands at the minute. I don't want this first episode to be too long, so we'll probably aim for around the 20-minute mark. We'll have one game in this episode, and then what we'll do is probably skip a few games ahead and come back tomorrow with episode 2 with at least 2 matches in it. I'm going to aim for around about 2 games an episode. On the odd occasion we might do 3, and like I say, roughly episodes will be around about 20 minutes, give or take a little bit. So without further ado, let's have a quick rundown of the side that we are at the moment. Benidorm C.F. We are in a league which is the what's it called? Spanish Second Division B3. We are in a group with Barcelona's B team. We've also got Valencia's B team, Villarreal's B team, Levante's B team, and Espanyol's B team, who we play in the first game of the episode in this episode today. And yeah, it's going to be tough, I think. We've got quite a few tough teams in this league. You've got Llagostera, who were in the second division not too long ago, so they should probably have experience. You've got Lleida. I think they were also in the league above recently. I think Alicante might have even been in the league above not too long ago. Yeah, they were up there in 2014, so it was a little while since they've been in the second division. But you know, there's some recognisable names in here as well, mixed in with the likes of FC Andorra, who are less recognisable, Cornella, Castellón. Yeah, so it's probably going to be quite a tough league to get out of, particularly with all of them B teams in there. But we're going to have to get out of it if we're going to have the if we're going to achieve our goals. I think my camera was a little bit higher. If you've only been able to see the top of my head for the last few minutes, then I must apologise. But yeah, we'll have a look at that in the editing, I think. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the squad that we have then. We'll go to our squad deck. You have a quick glimpse at this side and the formation that we're playing. Obviously, because this was a creator club, all of these players have been brought in the last transfer window. So right the way through the summer, I've been looking at bringing in new players to the team to try and build a squad that is hopefully going to be competitive for this division. I think we've done a relatively good job of doing that. We've got a good bunch of options up front. Raul Fabiani is probably going to be the first choice. I know it says Hugo is better than him. However, we are going to be playing with a target man, and this guy doesn't particularly like playing as a target man. He can do it on attack, but he's not particularly great at it, purely because he's not that tall. Alternatively, we've also got Enric Bosch, who is a bit taller, who could probably do the job as a target man quite well. So as it happens, our order of strikers is actually third to first instead of first to third, according to this. But nevertheless, like I say, Hugo is going to give us some slightly different options because he's a bit more of a poacher type striker. He's a bit shorter, got better finishing and whatnot. So yeah, he'll give us an alternative dimension, I think. In the attacking 3, we've got obviously 3 attacking midfield players, all centralised. You'll see here we have a 5-star player, which is this guy, De Stefano, who is, I think, a pretty good capture. I think we got him on a free. No, we paid 115k for him. We did have a little bit of money to spend because we took over another team. So that money has been spent on this guy. Like you see, he's got pretty good stats all round. His strength is a massive concern because he's only 160 centimeters tall, so he's a very small man. And his strength is 1, so that is an issue. I've not seen a player have a 1 stat for strength for quite a while, so that is a bit of a worry. But hopefully, his technical ability will see him through. He is obviously quite pacey because of the fact that he's quite small. He's very agile, got good natural fitness. He's quite a decent flair player. His mental stats are all pretty good, and like I say, his technical stats are pretty good for this level as well. we might just need to get him in the gym a little bit. So I think actually what we'll do is we will actually look at getting him to build his strength a little bit, because his jumping reach is also 1. I'm not particularly worried about it being that high, and I don't think it will get much higher, but 1 is not acceptable by any means. Alternatively, alongside him, at least we have Paulinho, who is a bit more of a playmaker, where the other guy had a bit of goal scoring potential behind him. This guy doesn't have that so much. He's left-footed, dribbling of 13, finishing 6, first touch of 13, free kick taken of 12, so this guy could be our free kick taker. Passing of 8, technique to 11, and again he's got okay mental stats and pretty decent physicals as well for this level. And then alongside them we have this guy, Tayamata. This guy is very good in terms of his mental stats. You know, he's got a lot of 12s, a couple of 14s there, a few 11s in there as well. His technicals probably let him down a little bit, but even still, 9s around the board, you know, 10 for first touch. He's not bad by any means, I don't think. But like I say, he's going to do a job there. He is primarily a pressing forward, but I brought him in for his ability to be a shadow striker. So he is going to play in behind the main striker in the middle. And then as backups, we've got this guy, Adrian Pavon. And in fact, no, I don't actually know if Adrian Pavon's even registered. Is he registered? I don't know. He might not be registered to play. No, he's not. It's Alice Stewie who is our backup player. We've also got Puig in there as well, who can also perform in these roles. In the defensive midfield roles, we've got this Linan guy who is pretty decent as a halfback. He's going to slot back into the defensive 3 when our wing backs push on. Casabella is going to be playing alongside him as a defensive midfielder, who, again, he's a little bit more playmaker orientated. He's got decent passing, good work rate and teamwork and whatnot. He's probably not going to be pinging long balls around, but you know, hopefully he'll just, you know, keep possession quite well. And he's marking and tackling should hopefully make it quite a solid midfield 2 partnership there with those two. On the left hand side, we've got Alejandro Melendez, who is our left-sided fullback. Prefers to play on the wing, but he is a very good left-back option. Got decent crossing, decent dribbling for a left-back at this level. Good acceleration, good pace as well, and decent passing. So hopefully he'll get a few assists. Otherwise, on the right-hand side, we've got this guy, Ruben Bass, who is currently our team captain. He's got good crossing. Again, relatively decent stats all round. Only thing that's a little bit of a concern is the fact that his stamina is quite low, so it's whether or not he's going to be able to run up and down the pitch for 90 minutes without getting tired, especially since he's our only right back option. That is it. In goal, we have this guy, Cordero. Pretty decent goalkeeping option. I'm relatively happy with it. And the tactic, as you see here on the left hand side, you can pause the video and have a better look at that if you so wish. But we're not going to go quite through it right now. You'll probably learn it as we go and make changes to it anyway. But let's get into this game. I have played this team or against Espanyol B team in the past when I've tested out the actual game itself, and they're quite tough. They're quite a tough opposition. So it's unfortunate that we've got to play them in the first game of the episode today. But nevertheless, we'll see what we can do. As you can see there, that Linan is immediately dropping back into the centre of the 3 there, which is kind of, it is what we want them to do, because it frees up space for this to happen, for Melendez to get forward and put pressure on their fullbacks. And like I say, because we're playing such a central midfield, well, a central attacking 4 really, our only width is coming from our fullbacks. So those 2 guys, they're going to be pivotal, yes. They're going to be pivotal to our success, I feel, in this save, or at least until we change the tactic anyway. But we're going to stick with it for a little while. We'll see how things go. I'm not expecting immediate results, but yeah, I'd like to think that this tactic will see us for a little while, especially since I've brought in players to play the tactic. I could do with another fullback. I could do with another right back. My area of concern at this moment is my right back position, because I know how much of a responsibility the right back has. I am a bit concerned that our right back isn't going to be capable of doing it for 90 minutes. You can see already there that he's on 87% for his conditioning when everyone else is still in the 90s. So that is worrying. But never mind, we're on the attack here now with a counter. Taya Mata's going to try and find a player running through. I don't quite know who that is. I don't know the team well enough to remember off the top of my head. It was Fabiani. I think he's from Equatorial Guinea, if I remember right. Marset inside to Fernandez. Fernandez finds Gomez on the right hand side for them. He's going to look to try and whip the ball in, I think. He's not quite been dispossessed. He has been put off his stride a little bit, but the ball is whipped in anyway, and a header from Moha goes straight into our goalkeeper's hands, and he will claim that all day long, I have you know. Quintero on that right hand side finds Gomez, plays it inside to Marset now. Quintero plays a ball forward, back post. Oh my god, that's not ideal. We're 1-0 down, lads. I mean, I'm going to show you something here. I know for a fine fact that this guy's pretty decent. Yeah, sign at whatever cost. You know, his stats are pretty good. Better than anything we've got, I think. And I know that, like I say, it's a La Liga B team, effectively. It's a La Liga side's under 21s. And we're like a League 2 team by comparison. So it's kind of like that Checker Trade trophies, it's still called that. It's kind of like that, where the lowly League 2 side against a big club's youth team. You know, the youth teams generally do quite well, and that's kind of the situation we're finding ourselves in at the minute. These big teams have the ability to go and put, you know, some of their future starlets into their B team, get them some cracking game time against our first teams, and it really does just make things difficult for us to progress. But nevertheless, we will hopefully get ourselves out of this mess in the second half at least. They're still putting pressure on us though. Gill is holding onto the ball for them now. He's trying to find a man out wide. He finds Jimenez. Jimenez, is he going to whip the ball in? He has got... Oh, he's offside. Fair enough. Unfortunate for them there, because that was a good position. Here we come though. We're on the attack now with Melendez from throw-in. Casabella look to whip the ball in. Fabiani. It's not where he wants it. He wants it on his head ideally, but Casabella's going to try and win the ball back, and Gomez just takes the ball away from 3 of our players and then gets his team on the attack. Fernandez running down that left-hand side. He's got a man overlapping him, but finds Marset in the middle, headed away. Lenan tries to control the ball, but it falls straight back to them, and they're back on the attack again. Highlight has ended, so thankfully nothing's came of that attack. Guerrero with the goal kick for us. Plays it to Lenan. Lenan finds Pistu. Pistu looks to play a long ball forward to Fabian. De Stefano. What's he going to do? De Stefano goes for goal himself, but it's not a good chance. It's not a good shot. It was an interesting chance. Free kick's been awarded to somebody. We might be having shots, but they're from long range, according to the information given to us there by the game. I'm not particularly worried at this moment in time. If this game ends 1-0, I think I'll take that. I think I will take that. As long as we're not embarrassing, I think we'll take it. At the end of the day, this game's been pretty even so far. You know, it could have gone either way. It could have been a draw at this point. But we do find ourselves on the end of a 1-0 scoreline at the moment, and therefore we're going to have to look to make some changes to try and get ourselves out of this situation. I think what we'll do is we'll drop that back to positive, and I think I'm going to take overlap right off. Now my reasoning for it, I'm looking at the conditioning of our players here. There's one that sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's Ruben Bass, who's only on 78. The rest of them are still in the mid-80s. So he, in the second half, is going to struggle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the responsibility for him off, so that he doesn't have to think about going forward anymore. It does unfortunately mean that we don't have as much width on that side anymore. But I feel like just taking that responsibility away from him will hopefully allow him to get through to the end of the game. Like I said before the game, it's him that's worrying us a little bit at this moment in time. I feel like that's a weak spot. But you never know. We could find other weak spots. We could find a whole team of weak spots. But it ball's whipped into back post, and we're unfortunate not to get a goal back there. Who was that? Guile? Not very good at pronunciation. You'll notice that throughout this series. There will not be a lot of good pronunciation. Although, saying that, the plan is eventually to start filling the team up with English players. Because a lot of the time you do find that English people fly to Benidorm. And therefore, why not have a bunch of English party boys playing for the party boys? Yeah, that's the idea. Cudero now with the goal kick again. Ball forward. Our player's dispossessed, but it's still with us, thankfully. Paulinho finds Di Stefano. What's he going to do? Has he got a man overlapping? He's gone himself, though. That is a bit irritating, that he has decided that he's better than everyone else. I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to change these guys to being advanced playmakers. Di Stefano, what foot are you? You're right-footed. What's this guy? Paulinho, left-footed. Let's swap them round. And we'll bring on... You know what we'll do? We will bring on Hugo. We'll put him forward as a poacher. Now that we've got two supporting advanced playmakers, hopefully having a poacher up front, they'll look to maybe pass the ball to him instead of having a target man look to hold the ball up for him instead. It's a theory. It might work. It might go absolutely down the pan. But you never know until we try. Moha plays it to Jimenez from the throw. Back to him. Back to Jimenez. Finds Fernandez on the inside. Plays it back to him. But we've won the ball back. Can we get on with bikes here? Come on. Taya Mata is dispossessed by Quintero and the ball's coming back at us again. Who's this? Moha cuts inside now. A defender gives away a foul. I mean, the game there said that it didn't look like a foul. I feel like that's really harsh. I feel like that's really harsh. We find ourselves 2-0 down now, lads. I don't know if you're watching or if you have listened to me in the background, so I am going to try and explain what's happening. Obviously, we've had a tackle and we've put a tackle in the box there. I don't know exactly who it was. I think it was Pistu. Put the tackle in, and yeah, it didn't look like a foul, but a penalty's been given, and they have scored it. We do find ourselves 2-0 down. There's 82 minutes on the clock. We haven't got long left to get ourselves back into this, but like I say, it's not been an embarrassing performance. We've not been too outclassed. We have probably just about played it even. I mean, I'm looking at this. Both teams have had 13 shots. They've had slightly more on target. They've had 6. We've had 3. Possession's relatively even. They've had a bullshit penalty. We've not been totally outclassed yet, I don't feel. If they go and score a third, then, you know, that's probably a bit of a, you know, a beating. But I don't feel like this has been too bad. We've got an opportunity now though with Fernandez. Fernandez does bang it from 25 yards out, and we do find ourselves 3-0 down in the end there, lads. I mean, that one, there's not much I could do about that. Not much you can do about that one. That was just a little bit of class shown right at the death there. 92 minutes on the clock. Ball is played to the edge of the box, and actually he's only about maybe 19 or 20 yards out rather than 25. But either way, he's banged that into the back of the net. It's a fantastic finish. Very well done from them. But you feel like a 3-0 scoreline does probably flatter them just a bit. I do feel like maybe a 1 or 2-0 scoreline was fair enough, but that third one is definitely not warranted. I feel like the 3-0 beating is a bit harsh. But nevertheless, that is going to be full time by the look of it. We are on the ball, just passing it around a little bit before the final whistle's blown. And there it is. That is full time. That is the end of the episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button. Please subscribe for more from me as well. And I will see you later. Bye bye.